Hey, what's up guys? It's me again, and I finally got my Revoltech Deadpool figure. And there has been a lot of mixed reviews on this figure. I have had it out a little bit and I love it. And with this figure, the packaging itself is a work of art. I mean, it looks really great. It looks like a comic book. You have some comic style art there on the side, all over the back with some of the different poses. And there's the figure on the other side. So I'm going to get him and all of his stuff out of the packaging now so we can have a look at him. Okay, and first off, Revoltech put this really cool insert in the box. You could use that as a poster. Okay, Deadpool was out of packaging, so we'll have a look at all the things he comes with, and they do throw in a ton of accessories with this figure. First, you have this Revoltech stand. I'll get it put together real quick. There is your Revoltech stand put together, and I do believe it is the same stand that came with that Ultron. Works pretty well. I do like a clamp that you can tighten. These just set in there with friction, but this bar in the center helps balance it. And the first thing I did with this figure was get all the accessories out, hands and eyes, and make sure that I had lefts and rights of everything, because I did see several complaints and reviews of this figure that people had two left eyes or two left arms even. It was really weird. I got very lucky and everything was as it should have been. Next, you got this cool little stand with this sliding effect. You have a second, more expressive head sculpt. You get these semi-gripping hands. You get these fist hands. You get two gripping hands with a trigger finger. The other one is on the figure. And you get two thumbs up hands, and the other one of these is also on the figure. You get 6 interchangeable eyes, and each head sculpt already has 2 eyes in it. So that's a total of 8 pairs of eyes you get. And you can mix and match, and you just have an endless combination of eyes you can put in. You get his sheathed swords, and these you can pop the handles out if he has his other ones in hand and you want it to look like they came out of these. But these aren't actually used for the swords he has unsheathed. Here are the unsheathed swords. And I saw some of these that were spotty and stuff on the blades. I got really lucky, I guess. The paint on mine is really clean. Sculpt is really good. They look fantastic. You get this tiny little tool for changing out the eyes. And last but not least, you get these 2 Deadpool pistols. Okay, that's all for the accessories. Now we'll move on to the figure. And first of all, this is on 6-inch scale, and Deadpool stands at about 6 1/4 inches to the top of his head. I absolutely love this figure. There's a few little things I think could have been executed a little better. The reviews on this figure have been very split. Some people love it, some people hate it. A lot of people don't like the Revoltech joints, and of course, on his arm, you do get some funny looking spots when you're posing it around. Like the dislocated shoulder look there. A lot of people don't like this belt because it's not attached in the middle and it can go out on either side. And some people's were sticking out. What I did was pulled it out right here and adjusted those small Revoltech joints and put it back on, and I got a really clean, close to the body look with the belt. Or if you really don't like it, you can take both sides off at these little Revoltech joints and just have that center pouch on the back. Some of the flaws that I don't really care for is his neck is a little long and big, and you do get a gap if you pull it back too far. I think the paint and sculpt on this figure is amazing. They did a really good job. I know a lot of people didn't like that they sculpted the guns in the holsters and you can't holster the other guns on him. I would like to be able to holster the other guns on him, but having these sculpted in don't really bother me because I like the look of when he's holding his swords, he does have guns on him, or if he's holding his guns, he just looks like he's armed to the teeth with other weapons. This knife is sculpted onto his leg. It would have been nice if that was removable and an actual knife in there, but no big deal with all the other stuff they threw in. I mean, at least they did sculpt it and put it on there. On this Deadpool's articulation, Everywhere he's articulated, it is a Revoltech joint. So his head is on that Revoltech joint. He looks up really good. The actual head doesn't look down a lot, but with the neck, he can look almost all the way at the ground. And he does have a Revoltech joint at the bottom of the neck. His shoulders are on a double Revoltech joint just to get a little more movement. And yeah, it does look funny in some spots. You have a Revoltech joint at the elbow, and you get a really good bend there at the elbow with that Revoltech joint. You have a Revoltech joint at the wrist, so it will rotate and hinge up and down. You have a Revoltech joint in the diaphragm here. So we'll go forward, it'll go back, but you get a little gap there. You can adjust this midsection piece, kind of floats in there, and you can adjust it and hide the gap. His legs are actually on ball joints instead of the Revoltech joints. Here at the upper thigh, you do get some swivel and rocker on that. I don't think it's on a Revoltech joint, but you do get a lot of good movement right there. Whatever they did in there, I like it. Okay, his knee is on a really big Revoltech joint, and you get really good movement there. He can kick himself in the Deadpool butt. And one thing I like that they did is when you bend that out, some of their other figures, this knee pad would have just been stuck out. But on this Deadpool, it's actually on a small Revoltech joint. You can bend it in and hide that knee joint. Okay, and at his ankle, it's another Revoltech joint, so you get some swivel and up and down movement. And then he does have toe articulation. So for articulation on this Deadpool, you know, he can get really good movement. You just got to work with those Revoltech joints. But now I'm going to take a minute, get a few poses with this Deadpool figure. So that's my look at the Revoltech Deadpool. An amazing figure in my opinion. I know there's been a lot of different opinions, but I really like the figure. The possibilities are endless with this figure, just with the accessories they give you in the pack. I mean, they include so much cool stuff. The figure has great articulation, great sculpt, great paint work. But that is all I have for this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye for now.